Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to prepare my 4x4 art journal and also make a page inside of it. So to begin, this is a 4x4 Art by Marlene art journal and it's filled with a really nice heavyweight watercolor paper. But I tend to use a lot of acrylic paint, so I like to begin all my pages with gesso. And so what I'm doing here is with my palette knife, I'm just creating a very abstract layer. It's not 100% filling the page, and you will see why this is going to matter later on. For a few more of the pages, I'm just going through this stencil, again using gesso, so that there'll be little dots on the page. And then I'm also doing some pages with some of it applied with the palette knife and some of it applied through the stencil. And this is going to add nice marks behind all of the paint. So I let all this gesso dry, and now I can begin creating my very first art journal page. So the first thing I did was apply some distress paint, and I used the colors of Speckled Egg and Kitsch Flamingo, and I just smooth them out with my finger, and then I'm applying a lot of water and letting those paints run and interact with each other, which is what distress paints are designed to do. They are water reactive paints that dry permanently, but when they're wet, they do a lot of cool things and are meant to be used with water. So now that the background has had a chance to dry, you can see all of that movement that those distress paints created. And now I'm using a polka dot stencil and Speckled Egg with a mini blending tool to just create some dots. And then I'm going to let this dry. Next, I'm going to highlight those dots that I placed on the page with a silver Posca paint pen. And I'm just outlining a few of the circles, not all of them. And then I'm also going to just put some polka dots in between all of those circles. Now here's where you can really see what that gesso layer did when we started the book, because you'll see that some of the circles are very light and some of them are very dark. And the reason for this is that where there is no gesso, that paint is 100% soaking into the raw paper. And where there was gesso, it doesn't soak in and it just is a very, very light layer. So here, by just starting out with gesso, I'm able to create a tone-on-tone look using one color of paint, which is really cool, and it makes your products go further and gives you more variation. So this is a technique that I really love to do. So now I've selected a doll from the Tim Holtz Ideology Solo Paper Dolls pack. And I just loved this woman here, and I think her hat is fantastic. So I decided that would be a really cool thing to put on my page. So I'm just applying a layer of Distress Collage Medium behind the paper doll, and then I'm going to set it aside and let it dry. And after it's had a chance to dry, I'm just removing the excess with my scissors, and that is ready to go. So this is a piece of chipboard from Stamperia. And the thing I really like about this chipboard is it's very, very thin. It's only 1 millimeter thick, so it works perfect in art journals and scrapbooks and even handmade cards. And it's a very light cream color, which I liked, but I wanted to add a little bit of the pink, the Kitsch Flamingo from the background. So I'm just applying it with my finger very, very lightly. So some of the natural cream color will show through in areas, and in others you'll see that beautiful Kitsch Flamingo. And I'm going to let this dry 100% before I place it down in my journal. And I am once again using Distress Collage Medium. And Distress Collage Medium is a great all-around adhesive, especially when you're doing things like chipboard. And it will, once it's dry, it will not lift. And with that, my art journal page is done. And this is a very simple page, but I didn't want to distract from all those elements, and so I'm leaving it as it is. And I'd love to see what you're creating, so be sure to share with us using hashtag ArtJournalJunction. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Have a wonderful day.